Is it on? We're streaming. We're going live. We're live. We're all choppied up. It's all chopped up. Why is it all chopped up? It's like chopped up over in the feed. It's like chopped up in OBS. I mean, just the camera angle. I don't know. I can't tell if it's looking good or not. It looks like garbage over here on OBS. I don't know what's happening. What else do I have open? I don't have too many things open. Oh, what's better? All of a sudden looks better. Didn't do anything different. Okay. We got a cool little sunset popping off over here. I thought I'd watch this. We got a little city. Kind of an older city, but I've added some new flair to it. Slightly. And I think I can definitely go in here and take some things out and rechange this a little bit and revamp this up. So, cities and strip clubs and vulgar red light district view style is kind of what I'm going to be going for. And I have it basically out, and here we go. We're going to go into the entrance, I guess, landing zone. The welcome center, you know, where you get carded. Go through the rules. Gecko over here is going to tell you, hey, buddy, only cash. We have an ATM over here. All right. Going to come over here and talk to this guy. He's like, listen here, you little fuck. There's no sex in the champagne room, and if I find out that you've been excreting all over the floor, I'm gonna come drag you out by your fucking beak and beat the shit out of you. I mean, that's basically what that sign right there says. Alright. And if that's not intimidating, fuck, there we go. What's all that shit about? Those motherfuckers came out of nowhere, poked me in my balls. These guys here, man. I'm not even tell you what that says. I'm not even gonna tell you. That's terrible. I can't even repeat that. I'm gonna move on before somebody even knows what that is about. What these guys are just hanging out here anyway. These are weirdos. Don't quite understand what's happening out here. But yeah, we got some room for I don't know. We can even do a lot of stuff just here. And this ain't even it yet. This is like the welcome center. I definitely can get rid of a bunch of stuff. There's some lighting elements out here. I think there's probably too many lighting elements. It definitely has some base pop already. This thing is already filled up. I'd have to see what the file looks like and how in depth this thing already is. It's not too bad though. We could add more. But adding more is just, I don't know, makes an experience that you want it all to run smooth. When I see the frame rate start dropping by, you know, a few, I think that's when you either leave it there or back it off slightly. And I'm thinking we could back this off slightly and maybe add a little bit more too. You know, if we could take some of the bright light stuff and animated stuff out, we could probably get away with adding some more static little things, and that won't be so taxing on the GPU and the system. I'm also in a pretty complex world too. I'm on a worm-infested area, and there's definitely worms that might even be popping off right over us. So we'll go see. It's definitely guarded by these two Vikings. These guys are badass. I mean, these guys walk on water, eat bullets, and shit fucking ice cream. And they will kick your fucking ass. You don't want to come sneaking in here or trying any fucking shenanigans. You know, like you wasn't quite sure in the beginning if, you know, if you were contemplating having sex in the champagne room or not. Now you fucking know. There's no sex in the champagne room. And these guys mean business. They're going to come in there and smash your dick. And that's the way it happens. Do you place NPCs like a base and part? What's up, Captain? Yeah, exactly. So yeah, the Uclay mod. If you look at this, it just replaces your menu button. So, your menus are totally changed. I think Winder TP has a few different styles now too, and he names them weird. Like, they're called like the MILF and the SAC. He's got a little way with words too. He's really hilarious. Steve, the guy is brilliant. But yeah, it just replaces all the parts. I mean, we have so much room for parts, and this has always been a thing. I tell you, Steve, I was so disappointed all the way up until the point of settlements, where he gave out the big part pack that he should like gave out a long time ago, and better parts than settlements parts. So yeah, I know you kind of asked that before. I was kind of talking about it before. I mentioned that you know, I had a friend that wanted to know how to do it, and we were going to kind of go through it. So I was going to give away a file too that might even be able to help you. So this base that I'm in right now, let's go take a run through it. I'll show you the parts really quickly. There's a whole bunch of stuff. There's the NPCs right there, so you get quite a few of them. But I think sometimes the mod works good, and the pictures are representative of what's about to pop down. But you're not going to get like these set of 3 right here. That's not going to happen. So if I go ahead and if I'm going to put this down, it might randomly put some. I don't think it's very representative of the photo. If I can get my guy into, I can't even put it down yet. I don't know what's happening here. Let me get out of this. Anyway, we'll go in here and yeah, I think I was gonna make a file and upload this, and if you want this, you'd have to have the mod on. And with the mod on, you can go in here and look at this, and then like dissect it and reverse engineer it, or just have it like this too. I mean, it's still kind of cool to walk through and do some things with it. And you can, whatever you wanted to do, you'd have your own little city. To manipulate things, yeah, you could just erase it and add your own stuff. I know you probably don't want the stripper poles and the and the stacks of money and all the Gex gawking at the ladies, or maybe you do. I don't know. I don't think you're as raunchy as I am. I'm pretty sure you're a little more proper than me. And hats off to you, as well you should be. You will see. No, I mean, you're definitely going to see all the floor-based parts. The whole main structure will all be here. I mean, there'll be some things in here. The added pieces that aren't base pieces will be the pieces that aren't in there, with a few exceptions. And I'm not really quite certain why that is. I don't know if they're like hardwired or how they do it. I couldn't explain that end of it to you, sir. So you'd have to have the mod on, though. Yeah, you know, I'm a homebody myself. I used to do all that stuff. Yeah, let's see. I wanted to add that piece in. I didn't know what was happening there. Let's take a look through the NPCs, because I know that was one of your questions. I don't know why I'm not getting the green light on this. I definitely have my HUD off, right? I might have some information not showing up. We need to make a mod that has a toggle on-off for the HUDs. And markers for the HUDs as well, too. Like a check mark for base icons and portals. So if you just want to see portals, then you put the check mark on for just portals. Not letting me base throw it down. Am I not getting some error code or something like that? Base uploaded test 99 available to build unlimited. Is it the area that I'm in? I'm not quite sure why I can't lay this down. Oh, my limit's reached up at the top. Well, what is that limit? Let's go check that out. I think I still have the file pulled up so we can take a look, see really quickly here. And I'm not at the limit. So it's called Gex City, and you can see it here. Let me show you the file. And this is what you would get if I threw this at you in Blender. I know it's like kind of like, oh, Blender. I know you're just kind of like, you just want to dabble in and look at it and see it. I mean, it's not too big of a rabbit hole to go down. I mean, you're a pretty technical kind of guy. I think you'd probably grasp it pretty quickly. I think you would really like it. Maybe, I don't know. There's a lot of weird stuff that you could do, but there's a city right there. There's a layout, and you can see like the main structure, the round piece, and this whole the landing pad, all that will be there. The main structures in here too. I mean, there would be the little stores and some plants and things like that. I mean, most of it would be there. All the extra, anything that's a exotic piece would be in there too as well. Just, you know, the neon lights and all the wow stuff wouldn't be in there, but you could, I mean, you guys are doing great stuff with your buildings, so it's just amazing. I can't tell what's Blender or what's not these days, so I don't think it makes much of a difference. So, yeah, that's the file. That's how it looks in Blender, and we're not even, I'm at 2630, so we're not at the 3000 part. I don't know. Maybe it's my whole file. There might be a lot in there, so. Yeah, you were talking about the Diplos and wanting to see those too as well. I mean, when you put on the mods, I mean, there's no way to like, I mean, I have it here, so, I mean, there's one sitting over here, right? Okay. And then there's the pterodactyl back over here. And I can actually probably have made him bigger. Where is he at? Oh, see, I'm lagging real bad right now. And that's another thing too, you know. And I think your new PC is probably really, you've got the card after mine. I think, if I remember what PC you got, I can't quite sure which one it was, but I think you're probably sitting better on the GPU. But I'm streaming and doing a bunch of stuff, and I'm layered in here, and pretty thick. It's a lot of animation, a lot of light, and it's tough. And I think I'm maxed out. I could probably go in here and take the settings down. I'm all ultra because I'll speed this up in post-processing, and you won't really tell, you know. I'll manipulate the way it looks later. I definitely watch your stuff. I've definitely been all, you know, I always watch you, but I give you your space. I try not to comment too much. I don't try to like, I don't want to like taint your name by getting involved with me or anything. So, cause I like your channel. You got your No Man's Sky thing going on, and you know me, I'm a train wreck, and I just, I respect you as a man, so I just give you your space. But I always appreciate what you do. You've always had a really great take on the game and been really fair and the way you do things. So no complaints here, man. Always like to see your stuff, and now all the other things that you do too. You and your wife, it's great content, and it's very entertaining. And, that's the kind of stuff that I like to see. I like to diversify myself, people from different places doing different things. One of my favorite things to watch and get into on YouTube. I know, shocking, right? Yeah. So that's one of my favorite things, man. And I definitely like all your other stuff. I know it's, you know, it's hard to get out of that algorithm, and definitely not doing so good over here. I think maybe let me back out and go back in, because sometimes doing that for some reason. There we go. It's like I already popped it there, and I can go in here and hit the option. Let's go ahead and just take the graphics down, because we can do all this here. And as I always, every time I'm in this screen setting, I gotta complain about the way they named this thing down here, the Fidelity FX Super Resolution. It's just upscaling. Oh my gosh, that setting really upsets me. Sean Murray named it that. Maybe it's not. Did he name it, or is it named like that? They always have a different name for it in different applications and software and games. But it's upscaling. It's like pixel copying. That's what I would have called it. Use this as a last resort if you can't get those frames. All right, let's back out. All right, I doubled there. That's better. Not what I like to see, but if I'm living at 30, I'll push it there. I won't complain. I don't know where you're sitting at all the time, Steve. Steve's like, I'm hitting 60s all the time. I used to have those days in No Man's Sky. It used to be like that. I used to have no problems, like way 70s, 90s, 100s, modded, never had a problem. Especially didn't have a problem like pegging G-Sync or anything like that. And it's been like shy of that ever since Prisms, I'm pretty sure. Prisms was the whole visual enhancements. I'll keep it clean, Steve. I'll keep it clean. You know me. All right, I was having a problem with laying the pieces down. I know I wasn't earlier, so we could have to go erase some bases out of the file, I think. Yeah, that's all I can do there. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, everybody has there's two sides of every story. And I know that you're definitely friends with some people that I've rubbed brash with too, but those people came over and I don't know. Yeah. We don't have to get it. It's no. It's being disrespected, and some people wanting certain respect that they don't give others. And I'm not going to bring up his name, but he treated me like he was not really cool, or wasn't very nice and polite. We were trying to meet each other so he could do a base tour with me, and we emailed each other back and forth so many different times. I'm a busy guy too, all right? So I met him up. I was like, all right, so we're finally going to do it. I met him up on one day, and he got there, and he was late for it. And I was there. I was like, are you getting on? Yeah, just give me a minute. I'm like, okay. Are you getting on? Yeah, and then he got on, and then he rushed me. And he's like, he just came in. He's like, all right, just stand over there. I'm gonna zoom in. I was like, okay. He's like, oh, so what's your other stuff? I was like, I mean, what do you want to see? I'm like, I got like, 400 bases. Just send me your favorite one really quickly, man. I gotta go. I'm like, I don't have a favorite one. I gotta load them in and stuff like that. It's a little bit different for me. And did you just film that? I asked him. I was like, "Did you just film that like with me here?" I'm like, was it smooth looking? Because I've seen his other videos, and he just hits the record and just goes at it. It doesn't matter if it's all chopped up or anything. He didn't ask me anything. He didn't write my name down or represent me the way that I wanted to be represented, and it pissed me off, Steve. And that's why I don't like the guy. He came over and disrespected my time right to my face, like he was some hot shot, and like he was, Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous TV crew, and he was going to come over and do an interview with me. And I'm sorry, I find that disrespectful. If someone goes out of their way, makes a date, makes a time, you sit down like a fucking man, and you you respect their time and ask them questions. Who, when, why, where, what. That's what investigative people or somebody who's going to be doing a tour or a feature on you should do. Not fucking hurry up, show me your favorite one, I'm in a rush. Cancel and reschedule. Sorry, man. Yeah, so I mean, he is a good guy, and then yeah, I've already taken some stabs about you know when I'm watching things, I hate hearing kids being neglected in the background, so that's another problem that I have too as well. It's just saddening to me. I work with kids, and I really hate to see or hear that, especially on a regular basis. I wouldn't just say it if I saw it once. It's like every time I pop over there, it's like, God, sorry, man. TV as a babysitter. I've got problems with that, man. I wouldn't be a streamer on here if I had younger kids. This wouldn't even be an option. Wouldn't be on the table. Probably wouldn't be playing games. Be changing diapers and setting up meals for the week and running through ABCs and phonics and everything else. So that's my take on some people. You know, sorry. All this is fantasy land right here. You're right, it is sort of a persona, but I do take it sort of seriously. And it is fantasy land, but I take it seriously. I do hold some weird little grudges, and I do go off on some juvenile stuff, but anyway. I just hold it true, I guess, no matter what. Alright, so I don't know, I can't do anything else. We're gonna have to take some bases out of here before I can manipulate this anymore, which I want to. And I'll probably go in and delete some of the files or the base pieces out of there in Blender, and I can definitely go into the save editor and get rid of the other bases that are in there. Let's take a look really quickly, I guess. It's not really that hard. We can look in there while it's going live. Not an issue. I just found that out, man. I gotta manipulate things live. It just looks like just marker bases and stuff. That's a big one. Yeah, I have no idea what these would be. I should probably check them out, but I'm not going to bore everybody with that right now. But I will. I am going to do some more Blender stuff here. I had a few ideas for some builds that I think are going to be really cool. The city thing was. Now, kind of for you, my friend, because I know you kind of asked about it. And there was a few other people that have been asking about it too, and it's basically that easy. The way that I get, you know, the shapes and everything else is just, I mean, that's nothing you can't do, I don't think. Having the extra pieces, it just works in there just like anything else in the build menu. And I bet you could probably do your little ba-dump, you know, what is this? It's had many different names, banjo glitches or whatever they call them now. The timing stuff. I've done a few of them. I'm not really that great at it, but I've done it. I guess I could have probably done it if I needed to. Blender is just so much easier. The Blender builds, I have introductory Blender to Blender building, and I think it's pretty in-depth, and I thought I did fairly good on those videos. I mean, that's where I get serious. I mean, this whole channel is kind of a joke and stuff like that, but when I talk about Blender, I think I get pretty serious on that. The save editors, I try to do it pretty seriously. The music stuff, I take that pretty seriously. The rest of it's just comedy, and you know, it's all comedy, you know. Yeah. Yeah, I've done a few from scratch too, and definitely how like we'll go through and build stuff. I'll show you how to like make your face, take your own face, and put it into the game. So I have a build where my face is in. I took the build of Yoda. I know you've seen that build from Yoda, right? So I took that build, and I took the face out of that, and I put my face into it, and then I made a sword and put it in his hand. So he looked like this crazy wizard, and it looked pretty damn cool. And you could put, I mean, and you could see it that it was my face. I mean, it's no joke. I mean, you watch that video. It's called "Putting Your Face into No Man's Sky," or something like that. It's putting your face in the game. It'll be in that the Blender playlist. So. Yeah, passion's good, and I like it to stem from a nice place, you know. Man, yeah, I won't go there. Yeah, I agree, man. I agree with that last thing, on a basic level, for sure. It's a fundamental thing to do, and a way to approach it. You know, the passion and doing it for a labor of love, and not for just. And I know you've done it too, and I know that you know how to play the game and play the system, and yet you still keep it true. You could be the guy that, I mean, if you chose to be a certain way, and be Weasley, you could easily have doubled your subscriber count. But I think you took a like a middle ground, a very non very neutral middle ground, and I thought that was great of you, man. Uh, Very respected, or respectful, and yeah. Yeah, yeah. And I know you've had your haters too. I never bought them, and they came over and tried to coerce me into coming after you. And I was like, I looked at them, I was like, what's this guy done? I mean, he ain't done nothing. I don't know. I don't come out of my lane for just no reason, man. Hey, listen, there's a mod for sandworms too. It's like you can have like 5 or 6 sandworms kicking off at the same time. Let me come over here and go to the mods here. Who does it? It's like Brit free, I think. I'm almost certain it's Brit free. So let's go. All right, so here in the mods, let me just here's a little tip and trick for when you go into the mod section. So you're gonna come in here and you're gonna go like, I want to see the new stuff, new this week, the latest. No, 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 no. See, mods get updated, so you can go into the latest, and you're only gonna get part of them. You got to come over here to this updated tab. So you come into updated, and then now you can see the ones that have been updated, and you know, it might be a mod that's been out for a couple years, so it doesn't show up as a new mod. It's just been updated, but it just recently got updated. Basically, it's a new mod, though. I just It's a weird thing how they categorize this, and I think this is where like a lot of people get lost with looking for mods. It's the update tab. And signing in and having an account, because you can see here that it says all it sees these are ones that I've downloaded already, and you can see that they say update available. This one here, I have never downloaded it, so it doesn't have any history with me. I get to vote on them and talk to the people and email the developers of the mods and the modders, and it's a really cool little thing to be into. So yeah, if that helps you out at all, that's one thing I think is kind of confusing about these. You got to watch these dates here. Last uploaded and then last updated, and it's a labor of love too, because some are going to work. Updates are going to break some of them. Some of them live through all the updates. I don't know why. Some of them are like update, they won't fail on an update. They just keep on working. Some of Winter TP's mods do that. Biome Bonanza is really good. I just, and I actually have some older versions of that. I guess, yeah, him and some of the other creators having some issues. Yeah, and some are taking them down and putting them back up, and it's just a kind of a drama show going on over there too. And I tell them guys too, man, everything should be a labor of love. You should probably just do it for free and just put it out there. I get it. Unless you're, it's taking No Man's Sky, Sean Murray's code and manipulating it, and then going and asking for glory and credit, and then telling everybody else not to use it unless they say your name, and then you get your panties in a bunch if they don't. I'm like, what the heck? No honor amongst thieves, huh? And yeah, I've done a video about that, but yeah, we would have better mods if they were not, if they would stop arguing. Definitely. I was going in here looking for Britfree here. Let's go in here and see if Britfree has these user file 7. Helios reskin colors for that's kind of cool. Yeah, if you want the man, he's got the Venator class Star Wars ship here. He's got some good ones. The G Epics. I think he went by a different name before. These guys changed their names like crazy, man. I'm gonna come in swinging with a different persona and a whole new and reinvent myself. It's kind of weird. They do it all the time. And I'm not quite sure if this is the one. I think it is, though. Yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be. No Storm. And if you want some really good ships, the G ships is a really good one here. And I think it gives you a button, too, as well in there. So it pulls up from a menu. And if you do Winder's ships, they are cool, too. But you actually got to go hunt them. You won't just get the ship. You got to wait. And there was a few ships that I had to search for weeks to get. There it is, G Creatures Sandworms right here. You want me to link you? I will put a link if you want. I'll link it right over there for you. Because I know you like this. And this is, hey, let me tell you something really cool about this mod. It's multiplayer. All right, this is going to blow your mind. So when you're visiting people, as long as they're on the same planet as you, it's pandemonium with sandworms. 2, 3, 4, 5 at a time. It doesn't get more than 5, but 5 at a time. And it gets a little hectic. You can choose how many and how often you want them. And I always go big, and I choose the biggest file that just keeps them spawning. And after about 5 or 10 minutes, you're like, all right, I'm done. I've seen enough sandworms to last me. I've had my fill of sandworms. My cuppeth overfloweth. So if you want your sandworm fill, there it is, man. And I tell you right now, that makes for a good stream right there, buddy. You want to, and you can have people come over and see you and stuff like that, and just the sandworms are piling in. I mean, test it. Every time that I put it on there, be sure to test it first. I'm sure that you would, I don't have to tell you. You're a pretty smart individual. You're going to dip your toes. Man, it's like the first taste is free. It's like a drug, man. I think you're going to be hooked now. And that's it, man. You're hooked now, man. You're not going to be able to go back. I know you got an obligation to uphold as one of the pillars of the No Man's Sky community. But you're going to be playing modded. Listen, there's a way to have a side version of the game. I do a video on it, and I think Jason's done a video too on how to go back to an older version of the game. So what you're going to do is go back to that older version, and you copy the PC Bank file folder right there, and you just set it off to the side, Steve. All right. So every time that you want to play that version of the game, and you can set that PC Banks folder off to the side with all the mods that you want onto that game, and then all you have to do is drag that file folder over there, and then open it, and then you have that same version of the game all the time for you. It's a it's a superpower. It's any whatever version that you want. I have multiple versions. I have one from Next. I had the very first version, which I really like a lot on the PC. It ran very smooth, Steve. I have a 20-30 minute stream that I did with it on, and not one crash. Looked great. I mean, it's a little wonky and clunky, but I didn't have any crashes or anything major that would have been like, oh, this sucks, you know. I've definitely seen updates that were worse, so that's my honest take on that. But Sandworms, this is a mod that will be multiplayer. There's a couple of other ones too. There's one. Okay, so I think he's got some ones for like S-class ships. I don't know who does it, but there's like an S-class ship one, and anything that most of the ones that spawn ships, or if you find the one that does like the living ship spawns, everybody will see those when they're around you. They'll see them. The stats might not be the same. So yeah, there's one called is it Brit Free? I don't think it's Brit Free. I think it's JJ Hookah or whatever his name is. We'll have to go back here. It's a really cool mod, and people get to see that one. So it will spawn in nothing but it won't spawn in like weak like bull stuff. It's going to be exotic ships and S classes and things of those nature, and whoever's around you gets to see that as well. And it's pretty. Where are we at? We in user files, Brit Free. Go back to No Man's Sky and go into updates. Just swap his folder out. Swapping whose folder out? Do that with the Biome Bonanza. Very cool. Yeah, it's yeah, that's the secret sauce to I think right there. If there's a god mode to anything, because then you know that you have this one stable version. Everything's always going to be the same in that version. And you can go in and do like the JSON files and everything as well too. Like, so if you want to do your bases, then you would just go and copy all the rest of those files. Or yeah, I mean, bases aren't really an issue because you just, I mean, if you start using Blender, you would just save it in Blender. It's just a click of a button. So all my bases are saved. All 500, 4.500 bases are all saved. And I archive all the bases that I run into too, you know. So every base and every hub that I go to, when I'm there, I copy those files and then I'll put them into Blender, and I get to look at your base and I get to see their stuff, and they're really cool pieces of art. I just kind of save them. I kind of like do this archive thing. It's not to steal them or anything. I will like do some reverse engineering on some things, and well, yeah, I did have some foul play with crisscross applesauce. So, but he's another one that I rubbed elbows with. So I won't go into that with you. Won't drag you into that stuff with me. I'm trying to keep it so PG with you here, sir. I'm like on my P's and Q's, like, oh, Captain Steve's in here. Sit up. Look normal. I got Captain Steve in here. I gotta be nice and normal. So. My wife says hi. She'll say hi to you. I'll see you in a little bit. All right. Yeah. I don't know what the heck I was talking about. Now I'm definitely distracted. All right. Yeah, it was the ship mod. That's all I wanted to talk about real quick. Ships and More is really cool, but those are the ones that you have to hunt down. I have an old original file, and I tell you what. So Let me tell you another thing too here, Steve. Is that now that I told you, I know that you can go back and get different versions by putting in a Steam code. So if you're going back in time and you look at some of these mods, and you will see that they are, they were made and they were never updated. And if you look at the date, you can go back and look at the date on where No Man's Sky was at, and then download that version of the game. So there's an old mod in here that has like space whales and stuff like that, and well, you have to go to the old version for that, and it's really kind of cool. So if you want to go back to that version that has the space whales in it, and I'm gonna tell you right now, Steve, it's pretty cool. I mean, you can watch a video of it and it's almost like you're there, but it's kind of cool to get in there and do it yourself. But any of these mods, so even if you see the outdated mods, just go to the date that it was last updated and match it to the version of No Man's Sky. And I mean, you can just do that within Steam itself when you go to that page. I do a video on it. There's plenty of people. I've seen a couple of them. I know Jason did one too. I was like, that was really cool when I seen him do that. I thought that was cool of him. I know we rubbed elbows too, but he was grooming his fans. That's all I have to say. Guy was a groomer. Yeah, Mrs. Masters, the master. The master, yeah. That is it. I just pretend over here. That's it, man. Yeah. I just pretend. And let's see. I don't think it might not even be updated. Better Planet Generation is good too. This is Woody, Montana. So I actually even think that Woody, Montana takes it to that place. And if you want that old E3 style, Woody, Montana does it, man. This is really good. Actually, he's probably got the big three if I remember. Yep, the three. Okay, so he's got a no fade, better planet generation, and better start. Just for this is an optional file here, but these two here, better planet generation, no fade, and then you can maybe even mix some of these like with something else. Like I always put the pulse warp mod on there. I cannot live without a pulse warp mod. That's number one mod. If you really like, if you want me to travel around and do some stuff, I'm not taking 3 minutes to get over to the next planet. I want to get to every planet wherever I want to get to within 10 seconds. So that's the mod that I would throw on top of anything, and they usually work. Red Moss's one always works. I don't even know. Haven't seen anything of his up here. I was told that my game hasn't been working, Steve, for a while. It's been like 6 weeks since I've just started the game up like today. I just bothered of unhooking all my monitors and then undoing NVIDIA and then putting them back on together because somehow that makes a difference. It doesn't make any difference. There's a butterfly effects around every corner on a PC. That's true. I could grow up. You give credit twice, My wife does the same thing. She rolls her eyes. I'm like, I gotta put them in their place. I'm an old man. Get off my lawn. You know what I'm saying? Get off my lawn, little kids. I'll put them effers in their place. I don't know. Grumpy old man. Oh no! If we were in the same room, we'd be all. I don't know. I don't know. We'd guess it'd be fine. I don't know. Heck, I've even had most of the people. Any of the most of like the guys that I've had big fights with. We've ended up being like friends. I'm not talking like fist fights and stuff. Yeah, smash a beer bug over my head, and then we're bros the next day. Sometimes you need that, I guess. I don't know. I'm not saying that anything goes that far, but I've definitely been friends with people that I've had it out with. Sometimes you just need that. So establish some boundaries and respects. As often as made worse by the internet. Pretty sure in life would be buy the guys rubbed elbows with me a beer. Yeah, and it's not really, and I always say that too. I go through my little complaints, and I usually before I even start like digging into somebody like that, I always say, it's really Hello Games and Sean Murray's fault for I don't know what they did. I don't know why they got quiet. He came out and did a whole video for Nintendo, so it seems to me that he's willing and wants to come out and talk, but something is telling him that he can't. Anything with the engine, as far as that's the regular No Man's Sky game. Nintendo seemed to be fine with it. It seems like another license, another entity. And he came out in his little turtleneck and at his studio with a nice little bonsai tree behind him and stuff, looking all cute and stuff. And check it out. But he can't come out and have any words with the people. And it makes me think that there's some kind of silent partners in the business that have probably invested a ton of money that sit on the board that nobody knows about, that tells them to shut the hell up and leak things out very slow. That's my speculation, but I don't think I'd probably that far off. I've seen a lot of businesses act like that. So, what kind of stuff in the studio, man? Yeah, most of it's not up here. I mean, I've got like a lot of Ableton stuff. I don't know. I've got what do I got up here? I only got my Launchpad Pro. Right now, it's the only controller that I've been using. But I got two of these, and then I've got a APC MK2, and then I've got an MPK Mini, and then I've got a Launch Key 49. Yeah, that's a few little different things. It's mostly the software I have is a big deal. Ableton and that stuff is crazy. Oh, rocks, man. I like weird rocks. Everywhere I go around the world, I try to grab different types of rocks and things like that. Yeah, I like rocks, man. and weird pieces of wood. I got petrified wood from Utah and things like that. Yeah, man. I've done a lot of traveling. I'm all over the place, man. All over the place. Very well traveled. Been many places. There's a lot of places I still want to go. I want to go to New Zealand, man. New Zealand just catches me like crazy. I love the accents. I love the humor. I love all of it. I love those accents, man. Absolutely love them. Base Builder plugin for Blender, G Epics mod pack. I'm just kind of brazen out too. Kibbles and Bits is another piece, but it's a little unstable. I don't know. I for some reason I never go to that one or use it. All right. Yeah, I was looking for that ship one. And I think I will find it here in a minute. It's probably going to be way back here, and it's going to be JJ Hookah. There he is. I see his name. G ships colored golden vectors. Yeah, this is you can have like different colored golden vectors. That's a little bit. This is a complicated file right there. It's a little bit different. You have to replace a file and then put the mod in. You have to add the color files and then put the mod in that tells the game where to look for the color files. It's a little bit different. It's a little complex. It's kind of cool though. You come rolling in with a different colored vector. That's pimping. It's pretty pimping. Duplosaurus adds the possibilities for Diplos to spawn in some biomes. So if you wanted to up your chances of finding those Diplos, here you go, my friend. What was the date on that? Oh yeah, I think you're good. I think that's gonna work. I'm gonna link you over there. There's your Diplo, sir. I don't think any. I don't know. Sometimes spawns work like that. Sometimes the animal spawns work. Um, if you haven't found out already, the terrain mods definitely like the people won't see them, but they'll see you walking like way up on like some because you're gonna be way up on a hill and they're gonna be way down here, and you guys aren't on the same ground. So yeah, it's visually weird. JJ's Exotics. So replaces the vanilla S class exotics with new custom procedural designs. Um, no, that's not it. Hey, JJ's Bridge is pretty cool. That's another good one too. JJ's Better Ships. Here it is. JJ's Bridge is really cool too. It makes your bridge these big windows, and I mean that's just cool, man. I can link you over to the whole JJ's section over here because he's got some good ones. But the one that I was highlighting and doing all this long-winded search uh, for was this one here because this one spawns in higher class ships. Now the people that are around you are going to see not the same stats. But the ships are a lot better. They're going to come slinging in with a more rare look. It changes everything up, so that's really cool. And whoever's around you, if they're staying at the space station, you kind of see the same thing, but the stats are different. For you, it's going to be looking cool, but the ship is still looking cool. So and the exotics come, maybe one every wave, one every two waves. So that if you're going ship hunting and exotic hunting, which I don't think is a big deal now anymore, but I don't know. I think it'd probably make for a cool video for certain. I mean, if you're doing a mod highlight video, I hope I can help you, man. I'm give you some arsenal. I know you're probably already over. He's like a madman. So much research. But yeah, I think it'd be a good video if you. I think it'd be good. I think yeah, it's a tough one. I know that you've done polls and it just doesn't come out good. It's probably not be one of the greatest videos, but I think if you word it and present it right, kind of like the potential, safe bet name, No Man's Sky potential, because it's going to be this way. I just don't know how long he's going to milk it out. Maybe he'll come out swinging hard. I think he's going maybe to have to because that Chat GPT AI stuff is crazy, bro, and gaming is right up its alley. If there's going to be one thing that it's going to really excel at, it's going to be that. Can you imagine just like sitting down and being like, okay, space, blah, 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 procedural, mini planets, infinite, blah, blah, blah. I want these kind of biomes, mix it, give it an infinite variation. And then you just you tell it kind of what you want, and then it just spits it out and loads in the game, and you're in it. So you're in your own No Man's Sky times 1,000 almost instantly. And I think that's around the corner. I think we're going to see that. We're going to see that before we die. So yeah. Yeah, I think that's going to breathe some life into it, and I think you represent it very well. And some people use it to their advantages, and yeah, it's kind of weird. I don't know. Not even giving credit. Not even like I really care about that. But man, just there's a slimy way of doing things, and then there's I don't know, a not so slimy way. Anyway, yeah, that's the JJ Hookah. He's really good. He's got some good stuff in there. A lot of it's outdated, but that ship and the JJ's Bridge is really good. The one thing I didn't see though was the Red Moss. It looked like Red Moss took out his stuff. Man, it looked like he is gone. Let me run over here real quickly. Let me see what's going on there. Sometimes he goes into a he'll just go into his like Patreon stuff 2 months ago, 3 months ago. Let me see where he's at. Tendigays, you make me feel like it's Halloween. He's been doing some music stuff. I don't know. He dropped off the edge on me, man. The guy just went full Eeyore. I've been really trying to talk him up. Getting him back off the cliff, you know. Unreal Engine. Yeah, dude, Unreal Engine is crazy, Steve. Man, you should get into that, bro. That Unreal Engine, I'm telling you right now, you can just start making your own worlds. I've done it, man. I've got a video on that too, man. Down, hidden the mod. See, yeah, he does this one every once in a while. Make this one hidden too. The mod that you cannot be found. All right, so that settles that. It was word on the street, is what I heard, that he had took it to the edge and jumped. I've been trying to talk the guy off of the edge for quite some time now. He's done it a few times, so it changed his name, and I might still be able to like find him on some Patreon or something like that. So maybe I'll go over there and check him out. I gotta go check him. Now I'm concerned about the guy. I gotta go make sure he's okay. Man, he's getting beat down by the modding community and feels unloved and stuff. Yeah, I'd imagine the chat. Yeah, I haven't even tried the chat GPT with something weird like that. Yeah, I don't know. It's Elon Musk, and I have mixed feelings. I don't think that I think that I think it's all a stage thing. I think that they all, at the end of the day, the curtain closes, and they all like shake hands and be like, "Wow, we did such a great job of like fucking really fooling them." And it's like they're all in on it together, and they're all the puppets of the same person, and it's all this ploy to just this back and forth thing until it like really really blows up, and we can like just go, okay, we need martial law for everybody, we have to do this to save humanity. And that's what I think it's going to be. I think Donald Trump is going to come back in, and it's purposely done that way. Just because it'll unhinge the shit out of everybody, and then they'll start baiting those race wars over here in my country again, or I don't know, maybe we'll just keep on flying fake China balloons over our over us too. Don't get me down this road, all right, man. I'm one of those people, like, I'm an unhinged guy that needs a tinfoil hat on. The nutters, the guys over on the other side of the pond always call me a nutter. So that's the good one. That's the good one. Anyway, yeah, it's looks like the stream. Did the stream stop over there? I don't know. I'm sort of on like a weird. I'm not striked, but a weird umbrella shadow ban sort of thing right now. I'm like investigated. I'm sure. So you get an influx of that kind of stuff coming in. It tends to happen. But anyway, I am gonna get off, go enjoy some time with the family and the my fine, beautiful, loving wife, the Master, Mrs. Master. Yeah. So I am going to I'm gonna sign off. It's really really nice to talk to Steve, though, man. Thanks a lot, man, for coming over here and spending some time with me. It's always good to talk to you, man. I love the stuff that you do, man. You know, in the way you represent it. So, just anybody I can say that I would definitely endorse, it would be Captain Steve. So, with that being said, I'll end it like I always do. You know, hit that like and subscribe if you want to. I'm not going to force you to. If you've had a good time, but better yet than that, call somebody up and tell them that you love them. Somebody needs that today. So, with that being said, I'll see you guys on the next video.